Good evening, everyone, and welcome
Yeah.
to call number 1 of Body Whispering Book Club. Am I audible?
Yes.
Audible? Great. Yeah. So, this is one of those phenomenal books that has been authored solely by Dr. Dain here. And I was just mentioning this before the call that there are only 3 or 4 books that Dr. Dain here has authored, like as uh, not in collaboration with Gary Douglas, but alone. And these are like Being You, Changing the World, The Joy of Embodiment, and Body Whispering. These are the 3 I am aware of, and all 3 of them are phenomenal books. So, how much more can we receive from Dr. Dain here and his work? So, introduction to this book. Hands up if you are a body whisperer. At the start of nearly every class or workshop I facilitate, I ask the question above. Some people throw their hands up right away, others raise them tentatively, and a few don't raise their hands at all. So, can we have our hands up, all those who are a body whisperer? Even if you don't understand what a body whisperer is. Hands up if you are a body whisperer. My hand is up. Who all are body whisperers over here? You can, even if you are on, like, not having a video on, you can use that reactions uh, button on your Zoom to raise your hand. Yes, we have so many body whisperers on the call, and some of us may not acknowledge it right now that we are a body whisperer. But then, as you listen more, there might something else that opens up for you. So just be in question. Did something inside you just say yes? It's interesting to consider when someone becomes a body whisperer or a healer or a facilitator, whichever term you prefer. Is it when you have a practice? Is it when you are being paid? Is it when you have solid cast iron proof that you healed, cured, or improved someone's life? Or do you become a body whisperer when you choose to recognize you have been one all along? What if that is why you are here right now, reading this book or listening to it? Let me start by welcoming you appropriately. Welcome and hello, body whisperers. Hello to those who can comfortably say it, and hello to those who have an inkling, a spark of an idea that there is a different way of being with their own bodies and the bodies of others. Hello to see who have been walking their path for years, the practitioners and facilitators working with energy, the massage therapists, Reiki practitioners, and acupuncturists, the doctors who work in ER, the psychologists, the nurses, the people on the front line. Hello to each and every one of you desiring to make a change in your own world and the world of others. I'm so grateful you are here. Even if you don't think you fit into any of the categories above. This book is very dear to my heart. The concepts, stories, tools, and techniques shared on these pages are born of and connected to my own personal journey as change maker. A 20-year joyous ride in which I have facilitated and witnessed phenomenal change in my own body and the bodies of hundreds of thousands of people. What I'm sharing is a totally different paradigm for healing, change, and transformation. The beautiful thing is, You can use any and all of the tools in this book alongside the training or techniques you personally favor, and they will only accelerate and expand the change you can create. So the tools that are given in this book are not just for people who are using some access consciousness practices. It's open for all. You can use it alongside your Reiki practice or any other body work, even like some like Meru Chikitsa or anything like apart from access also. It beautifully works with that too. Do you realize that initiating change in people's bodies can be easily effortless, fluid, and fun? Do you know you can step into a space of being, a space where you get awareness and insights that have the capacity to change and create entire worlds? When you see that kind of change in front of your eyes, it feels nothing short of miraculous. You experience a high that is intense with an undercurrent of peace because you are doing exactly what you came here to do. Your space of being is uniquely yours. You have the capacity to offer others a healing change just by them being in your presence. So, if you acknowledge that you are a body whisperer, just trust that this is your job that you have taken on in this lifetime, or it could be one of your jobs, but then you were meant to do this. You have, this is one of your purpose in life. If while you are reading, even now, maybe the ideas or concepts in this book seem abstract or hard to get or understand, know this, it's okay. You don't need to try so hard to get it. Read on and enjoy the process. Let the four pieces fall into place. Pick up what works for you, leave what doesn't. Experiment, play, be open, and your life and your practice might just become more malleable, dynamic, and joyous. Here's how it worked for me. 20 years ago, I was a chiropractor living in one of the most affluent and beautiful places in the world. And I was engaged to be married to a woman who seemed perfect for me. On paper, I had it all. In practice, I was a wreck,
Mm,
unhappy and totally
mm,
unconnected to who
mm,
I truly was and what I
mm,
truly desired. I'm muting all
mm.
of you. Please unmute yourself if you have a question. Despite being on the cusp of opening my second chiropractic practice, I knew deep down I just wasn't creating the kind of change that had inspired me to become a doctor in the first place. I was unfulfilled and I was desperate. So desperate, I set a date to take my own life, unless things changed drastically. And change they did. I discovered the tools of access consciousness and I stepped into my true capacities as me. I was able to let go of so much that had been limiting me, including the relationship that seemed so right for me but was far from it. I discovered my true potency as the creator of my own life, and inevitably, gloriously, all of this changed how I worked on people's bodies too. Within a very short space of time of using the access consciousness tools, I started seeing the miracles I always wanted to create in my chiropractic practice. I developed a modality called energetic synthesis of being, which we usually know as ESB, while working on Gary Douglas, the founder of Access, which I still use and teach others to use today. I became the co creator of the Access Consciousness movement, and my life has never been the same since in the best way imaginable. Each day, my life continues to change and evolve and expand in incredible ways. So, I don't say this lightly. The tools of Access Consciousness not only changed my life, they saved my life. If you allow them, they could have a world shifting impact on your life and your practice too. Do you know you are treading a new path? It's possible that the tools on these pages are unlike anything you have come across before. As you read, there will be ideas and concepts that speak to you right away, and you will find yourself nodding eagerly or even saying, "Yes, absolutely," out aloud. Read those things over and over. There may also be concepts that you will scrutinize and say, "Yeah, right." Read those things again too. Why? Because there is a chance that within the concepts you want to distance yourself from, there is a gift for you. So, how many times the things that are actually the true gifts to you, we resist them so much. So we'll try to distance ourselves for them, from them. We'll resist them. Some nugget or awareness of what you can change to make your life and your practice far more dynamic that than it has ever been before. Thank you for being willing to be and explore something different. And when I say different, I mean totally different. You're opening the doors to a space very few people have been willing to go. You are at the leading edge of healing, participating in conversations that very few people on this planet are having yet. So, Gary always says that it's a, um, access consciousness is such a leading like technique of healing that not many people would choose it. So, can congratulate yourself for being here, for taking this path, for listening to it, for choosing it. Yeah? So do acknowledge yourself that how far you have come in your journey of evolution, of healing not only yourself, but being that ambassadors out there in the world, healing the planet. We will start a journey with you by developing a communion with your own body and understanding what a gift it is. Our bodies don't exist in isolation. As you create a greater connection with you and your body, you will also create a greater connection with other people's bodies. There is no right or wrong way to be a body whisperer. It is something you already are. If anything, we are only undoing where you haven't been able to be it yet. So, this is an unfolding and revealing something that you already are, the capacities that you already have, but you have either not acknowledged them, you are not aware of it with your own bodies, and the magic that you can create just through your presence with other people's bodies. We will challenge traditional views of how to heal people, and we will lift the lid on what creates disease, pain, and discomfort. We will look at the role of presence, chaos, and questions in healing. We will explore the frontiers of working with people and of consciousness. We will explore possibilities that others might call offbeat, different, or even weird. And that's fine with me. When you experience the change for yourself, you might find you are fine with weird too. No one is greater than you. There is no reason why you can't discover things on these pages, and beyond that, I'm not aware of yet. It is a glorious joint effort. So, thank you for joining me. I'm so excited to see the change you will create. Shall we begin? Shall we? Yes. Are you all excited?
Yes.
Enthusiastic for what? Like,
Yes.
this journey we are going to start today. Yes. Yes. With that, we start with part one of the book, A New Way to See. A New Way to See. What if you could have an instant connection to every molecule in the universe? I'll read that again. What if you could have an instant connection to every molecule in the universe? What if you have an inner guidance system which, once you tap into it, can lead you toward the greatest choices for your life and living? Is it time to explore the concept of consciousness and live from a place of gifting, receiving, and no judgment? These first two chapters form the foundation for everything else. All that is required of you is to read with open eyes and an open mind. So, even if there is a contradiction, something that does not resonate with your current belief system, just don't uh, trust it, but then be with it. Don't like reject it straight away. Just be with it. Chapter 1, Energy. Relearning your first language. Let's begin by taking a moment to think about the many and varied ways we communicate with each other on this beautiful planet we currently inhabit. So, how do we communicate? Through language, through a voice, through our gestures, our a body language, and what else we communicate with? Sometimes telepathy, energetic communication, right? Any other ways of communication? Would you like to write it in the chat or any ways that come to you? How do you communicate with people or things or anything? Writing, through emails, writing books, letters, chats, messages.
Sometimes I think, Tasneem, hi, sorry, Swine here. I think I'm not able to, I don't know, my voice is going or not. I
Yeah,
was just trying to say
we can
that,
hear you. Swan. We can hear you. Yeah.
okay, okay, good. I was just trying to say that sometimes, it's like you think that this person, I should call this person, I should call this person, and all of a sudden they will call you, like maybe in 3 days or a week or 2 days.
Communication,
Yeah,
telepathy. Yeah. So but
yes,
that is not a way of communication that we recognize as a normal, formal way of communication, right?
yeah, yes. Thank you.
Hmm. So some of us draw, paint, or make music to tell others who we are and what's important to us. So, apart from all those traditional ways of communication, some others are like paintings, music, and art forms. When we are face to face, we don't just use speech, we use body language too. We widen our eyes in shock or we roll them in frustration. We fold our arms when we are weary or we throw them in the air when we are excited. You could say we have got verbal, written, and physical communication down to a fine art. What if there is another way to speak, converse, communicate? What if we have so much more available to us than we realize? And what if accessing it could change our lives in phenomenal ways? Energy is your body's first language, and it is your first language. Have you ever walked into a room and knew in a second that whoever was in that room was annoyed with you? So, can you just read the room when you enter it and you just know that there is some anger over here? There is a lot of sadness, there is frustration. Yeah. Do you just sense it in your body? You just know it. Maybe it was your partner, your mom, your sister, your boss. Even before they said a word or made eye contact with you, even in the second you touched the door handle to enter the room, you knew they were harboring a resentment or a judgment. How? Because you sensed it, felt it, knew it, and it was their energy that communicated it to you. Here's another way energy speaks to us. Do you have someone in your life who is really in tune with you? With whom you just are so in harmony with? You resonate so much with them, who really gets you. And just from saying hi over the phone, they will know you have something difficult going on in your life. By your very sound, they would make out that what's going on in your universe. Your words might say you are fine, but your friend is hearing something else. They are hearing your energy. It's quick, instant, natural, and you can have that instantaneous connection, that common language with everything in the universe. Everything, including or especially your body. It is just a case of choosing to tune in and practicing the skill you have been unaware of until now. So we communicate with other people, we communicate sometimes with things and with trees and with animals and like all of that. But how much have we explored talking to our own body and moving forward talking to bodies of other people? It starts with you. And with that, we go with this on this tool, heavy or light. So this is one of those tools. If you have done an access pass class and many other access books, you have listened about this tool, heavy and light. And if you are new to access consciousness, this is the first book you are hearing to, still it's a phenomenal tool. And for those of you who already know, it's a great reminder to use the tool. Let me ask you this. Roughly speaking, when something feels good to you, when you are excited or relieved or happy or at peace, do you feel heavy or light? Does anyone feel heavy when there is something exciting, fun, good things happening, which you had so much asked for? You had been looking forward to, and now they are showing up in your life. Or some opportunity which just excites you. Do you feel heavy or light? Does anyone feel heavy?
Light always, yeah,
Yeah,
very light.
most of us, yeah.
Yeah.
If you haven't yet felt it in your body, you might try it now. Like moving on, like you can just get present to how you feel, that feeling. When you are worried about something, or scared, or sad, or anxious, do you feel heavy or light? My guess is heavy. Another way of looking at it might be when you are happy, do you sense your energy is expanding? And when you are sad, Do you sense your energy is contracted or maybe compressed or heavy? It feels like discomfort, pain, heaviness in your body when you are feeling bad about something. And when you are feeling happy, excited, enthusiastic, like deeply grateful, exuberant, that time you're like you feel light and expansive. What I'm working toward is the idea that you know when something is right for you, or a better way of putting it is true for you. When you feel a sense of expansion, a lightness around it. When something is not right for you or alive for you, you feel constricted or heavy. The sensation of heavy and light is different for everyone. So I can't tell you exactly what it feels like, but you can get to know what it is for you. So when you are more present, when these feelings come up and you just like notice with your body, you are in observation, uh, being present with your body, you can just find it out for yourself. What does heavy and light feel in your body for you? Some people describe light feeling like a joyful burst or a steady smile or a feeling of growth and possibility. Heavy might feel like you are tired or a dead weight or confined. See heavy or light as your inner guidance system. Get to know your guidance system first by noticing it. So, that is the first step towards connection with your own body. When you know what feels heavy and what feels light in your body, that is your first connection to your inner guidance system. Rajiv, do you have a question? I can see your hand raised.
Yes, I have a question. How can we, explore this thing which is light for me, and what the show up? How we could understand?
Yeah, so you notice it. It's an observation. It's a muscle that you build, and like you just when you are truly happy, when you are excited, you just notice how it feels in your body.
Okay,
And when you are sad, something traumatic happens, something like not so uh, uh, so called, not you don't consider it to be good, that is happening, and how you feel when you are anxious, when you are worried, when you have
mm,
lost something, a
mm,
contract, a person whom you love, or something like, and how do you feel in those moments, how it occurs in your body. So for me, when I started noticing it, my anxiety usually shows up in my solar plexus. मुझे पेट में गुड़गुड़ होती है.
okay,
Like when I used to, I noticed it whenever I used to go for my exams. Do you remember
okay.
that feeling?
Mm,
And
yes.
mostly we are not that well prepared.
Mm. In this situation,
And
slight headache.
yeah, I sweat. I start sweating a lot. I have a high like no, when it is on a really like on when there is an emergency situation, my palpitation goes high. Heart rate increase होता है मेरा. मुझे पता है वो. I can hear my own heartbeats in those moments.
Okay. Mm.
Yeah. So those are the heavy feelings for me.
So heavy feeling for me is headache होता है.
So that is heavy for you. When you have
Mm,
that heaviness in your head, you feel that
mm,
as if something heavy has been put on your head.
mm.
It's getting heavy.
Yes.
Yeah, so it could be like that is something you have to find it out for yourself. There is no generality in that I will
Yeah.
tell you, or anyone can tell you that this is how heavy feels for you.
Okay.
Yeah, and lightness is For me, it's a lot of like people tell me that you are just smiling a lot. My face is glowing. Yeah. When you have seen people, those youngsters where they are falling in love, you can see their faces. Can you imagine? Or when you fell in love for the first time, how you keep smiling for no reason?
Mm. Exactly.
Exactly. Or you are smiling at everyone. You feel like smiling even to people whom we don't know.
Exactly.
And also the another way to connect with that for me, it was that how do you feel when you have like small kids around you? एक जो बहुत ही एक बबरी सा प्यारा सा बच्चा अगर आपके सामने आएगा तो हाउ डू यू फील? वो जब प्यार उमड़ता है ना उस पे बच्चे पे, तो लाइक
Mm.
हाउ डू यू फील? That is one of the ways to connect to how you feel. What is that feeling of likeness for you?
Okay. Fine. Thank you.
When your first child was born and you
Mm.
took your baby in your arms, how did you feel?
Ah.
That could be a very good indication of what likeness means.
Yes.
A little like indicators of like for you to get there. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
So Tasneem ji, hi.
Yeah. Hi, Sachin.
So just on this lightness and a heaviness, so I have been like observing myself for last 7 8 months. So what I have like I generally relate heaviness with the tightness in my body. Means in my head, in somewhere in my chest or shoulders. I will, if I am feeling tightness, and and uh, after hearing or seeing something, if that tightness starts releasing and
Hmm.
suddenly थोड़ी सी expansive feeling होने लगती है, so
Hmm.
that is lightness for me.
Yeah. Great. Great job.
Thank you.
Yeah. And for every one of it, some of you might already, if you would recall those moments, you'll get to know. If you don't know yet, within the next week, you can be more present with your body and start observing what does lightness and heaviness looks with your body, because every body is different. Okay. When you are about to do something that scares you, notice it, and this might surprise you. You can often feel light even when you are about to do something terrifying. So, when you are going on that roller coaster ride, or when you are going to just go on that jumping, or for that skydiving, and how it appears, where you feel that you think that you are scared, but it's a different feeling. Why? Because energetically, excitement and fear feel pretty much the same. This is very important, guys. Please listen to it carefully. Energetically, excitement and fear feel pretty much the same. If you are light, you can be pretty sure that what you think is fear is actually excitement. So many a times we misidentify excitement as fear. So you might be thinking, अब मुझे बहुत डर लग रहा है, मुझे वो इस झूले पे जाने में, या मुझे ये एडवेंचर एक्टिविटी करने में. But then if you feel like, you will find that your body, that there is still lightness. There is no headache. There is no gurur in your stomach. There is no heart rate going up. There is none of that is there. But then we feel that मुझे डर लग रहा है. Actually वो डर नहीं है. वो excitement है. So don't tell yourself a lie कि मुझे डर लग रहा है. That's an excitement. Acknowledge it, and that is lightness. It's not heaviness. The energy has spoken. My advice is not to overthink it, just start to tap into the incredible inner awareness that you naturally have. Take a moment. Do you know? Every molecule in the universe has consciousness. Every molecule, be it of the non living thing or the living thing, every molecule has a consciousness. Every plant, every raindrop, every gust of wind, every animal, every tree, every gemstone, every rock, every building, every car, every piece of machinery, every person, everything, everybody or every body. My body, your body, the bodies you work with, the bodies you know, they all have consciousness. This isn't a new discovery. Einstein acknowledged the consciousness of every molecule and every element in the universe. And here is the key part. He recognized that these conscious molecules communicate with each other all the time. And the so much like quantum physics is proving it scientifically also now. The Nobel Prize winners of physics this year is this they were quantum physicists. And how? With your first language, the language that is more sophisticated and more instantaneous than words, energy. Is it possible that your body has been trying to communicate with you for a long, long time? And what would happen if you were to start listening? With that, we go to chapter 2. Consciousness, the key to creating change. Consciousness is a concept that can appear hard to understand and yet simultaneously easy to know. So, consciousness, like listen to it again, it's hard to understand. So, understanding is with your logical thinking mind. So if you are try to understand it, you will not get it. It will become very hard. But if you just tap into your knowing, your your perceiving, your being, you will just know it. It's easy. It will become easy for you. It only gets tricky when we try to wrap our heads around it. The mind gets too involved and grasps for meaning and sense. The thing about the human mind is that it has this excessive need to relate new concepts to other concepts that it already gets and is familiar with. Then it can add the new concept to the box labeled things I understand perfectly. So this is also called as like we working from past reference points. So we know few things in our life, how it works, how life works, how we have known everything through our cultural education system, through our religion, through our belief systems, what we had been told by our families, our parents, and all of that. And we try to relate every new learning based on what we have learned so far. But it doesn't work that way. The way I describe consciousness may be very different from what you are used to. Simply read with an open mind, and as you read, listen to your inner guidance. Notice what I am talking about opens up new possibilities for you, and if you get a sense of heavy or light. In consciousness, everything exists and nothing is judged. Being conscious is a choice rather than a status that you achieve or a level you attain. It's not a designation, a position, a grade that you get by doing some courses or by getting some certifications. Being conscious is a choice. It's already in you, around you, and available to you. It may just be that until now you weren't able to choose it because you didn't realize it was a possibility. And being conscious is not something available to chosen few. It is available to all of us only if we are willing to receive it. If we acknowledge it and we are choosing it. It is about oneness. It is about the allowance of everything, everyone, every choice, and never judging any of those things. When you are just choosing to be with everything, every situation, every person without any judgment. In consciousness, there is no separation, and you don't have to refuse and reject any of that. You can be with everything and you don't have to cut off anyone or anything based on your judgments. You are receiving everything, the good, the bad, the ugly. Only you don't need to categorize them in such a way. In consciousness, the polarities of good and bad are no longer the driving force for your life and living. The other way of from the spirituality perspective, if you see it, when everything is divine, everyone, everything is divine, so there is no need to reject anything, no need to categorize them as something is good or something is bad. Everything is as it is. This is it, and it is perfect. The perfect trap. One of the myths of this reality is that judgment is necessary to create a functioning world. We have been taught that we must judge to get this reality right. Judgment is how we approach everything from relationships to work, culture, spirituality, health, and bodies. Most of us spend our whole lives convinced that we are wrong, while trying desperately to be or convince ourselves that we are right. It becomes a perfect trap. It's kind of a deadlock situation where inside you always keep feeling that there is something inherently wrong with you. You are wrong. And outwardly, you want to prove to the world that how right you are. So there is a conflictual universe, a a reality that you create, which is a trap for yourself. You can never get out of it. What if none of that is true or real? What if judgment is one of the biggest limitations there is? What if any time you decide something is good, bad, right, or wrong, you limit you? You limit the thing or person that you are judging. You limit what you can receive, and you make your world and the world, the whole of the world, you make your world and the entire world smaller. Some argue that the path to freedom is to see everyone and everything as good. I understand that idea. I was a subscriber to it for a long time. It comes from a place of trying to create a kinder, gentler, greater world, but it creates a big problem. So if you सब में अच्छा ही सब कुछ अच्छे की तरह ही देखना है, that is also a judgment. Okay, good is also a judgment. Yeah. So there are not just negative judgments, so-called negative judgments. The positive judgments are equally harmful, or it could also keep you in a trap for a greater period of time. To see everything as good, we have to cut off our own awareness of everything that doesn't fit into that mold. And that's a lot of stuff. Consciousness, on the other hand, includes everything and everyone. It judges nothing and no one. If you are truly going to be conscious, you have to be willing to see the good, the bad and the ugly that someone or you are currently choosing, as well as the capacity everyone has to choose something different. So you have to live in every moment and see what the other person is choosing and what you are choosing, whether it is good, bad, or ugly, whatever it is. You are willing to be present with that and not label people and label yourself as someone who is inherently good or bad. And anyone can make any choice at any point of time, and they have that capability to make a different choice in another next moment. If our parents and teachers really wanted to teach us how to navigate the world more easily, they could have asked us, what are you aware of here? What will this create if you choose it? That way, we could have learned to use our awareness to create what we would like rather than using a judgment to conclude what to avoid. How we have been educated. इधर ये मत करना, इससे ऐसा हो जाएगा. All the warnings, yeah, all the bad that can happen, like how to protect ourselves, rather than like asking questions and tapping into our own awareness that what consequences would be created through our own choices, so that we can make our own like informed decisions rather than taking us over there. We have always been controlled in our culture, in our education system, not just where we live, like primarily in India, but all over the world. Any questions before we go to the next topic? Okay. The clearing statement. So those again who are introduced to Access, you are aware of the clearing statement. And for those who are like brand new to any Access class, the clearing statement would sound something weird and new to you. Yes, Supreet, I can see your hand raised.
Good evening, ma'am. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Good.
I just want to ask one question. Like like we are human beings, right? And we have a logical brain also. It is working over there all the time, 24 by 7.
Yeah.
So how no, how to like do we really, if when we are saying that we should not judge anything, anyone, any person, or any situation, so it is not like we are again resisting something in our own selves?
Not exactly resisting, I would say, Supreet. What if we can ask question over there? That is
Okay.
it, like most of the times we are not able to differentiate between awareness and judgment.
Hmm.
Okay, so if I would see a snake in front of me, a snake coming there in front of my house,
Hmm.
uh, I would be just aware like that हाँ ये एक poisonous snake हो सकता है. I won't want it to enter my house, and I would close the doors.
Yes. Hmm.
And that is from awareness.
Hmm. Hmm.
And the judgment would be that the snakes are poisonous, they are bad, and I have to get rid of all the snakes in the world. I have to kill them.
Okay.
That is a
Okay.
so awareness is where you are being present of, and because with snakes we have less judgment, so you could get it. But similarly, there would be people who
Hmm.
could be like they are whom you know that they cannot be trusted with money, say.
Hmm.
ना? So you won't trust your money to them. You won't
Hmm.
trust that कि मैंने इसको पैसे दिए हैं, मैंने इसको दे दिए हैं, इतने मैंने लाखों रुपए दे दिए, and they will just take my cash and deposit in the bank. Or I
Hmm.
can leave my almirahs open and leave them it to them, and they would be, I can trust them. So you are and they can still be very good at their work. So that doesn't mean that when you know that this person cannot be trusted with money, still they can be a very good, they could be very good clients. They can be still good business partners. I'm not sure business partners honge ke nahi, but then they can be still good employees. But you would just know that you can't leave your money with them. The money would not be safe in their hands. And it could be vice versa, that there would be people who would be like whom वो एक पैसा इधर का उधर नहीं करेंगे, but then they may not be, they have a very good attitude, they might be very loyal, but then they would not be like, they might not be expert in their skills, and you might want to have all kind of people with you.
Right.
Supreet, would you like to clarify even more with your
That
personal
is not
situation with the
judgment.
team?
Supreet, that is not judgment, that is awareness.
Okay.
So when the easiest way to identify, so when you are just feeling that there is something, dal mein kuch kala hai, there is something fishy that is going on, just see into your body if it is light or heavy.
Okay. And if it is heavy, then?
It is a judgment. Judgment always
Okay.
feels heavy, and awareness is fleeting. It is light. It is like whispers. It is like
Okay.
feather touch. It comes
Okay.
and go, even when you know, oh, wow, this person is lying, and you would find yourself smiling. But you won't feel bad about it. Okay, लोग झूठ बोलते हैं, मैं भी कभी कभी झूठ बोलती हूँ. It's okay. Guys, my laptop battery is going down. It's on red. Let me put on my charger.
Um,
Does it clarify for you, Supreet?
Yes, a bit, but this as you shared, this is I'll say, in the generic way you shared this thing, but when there are specific, very bigger issues of life, then I think yes, we judge people, we judge situations, and we become fearful, and we feel heavy. So it happens when there is a situation in life where do or die, or for 18 or 20 years you are suffering something, or you are not able to cope up with that, then I think then definitely there would be heaviness. You will definitely judge your circumstances and the person and the people involved into that. So that is, I think, maybe the tools will work
Then
there.
you have a choice, Supreet. If something is heavy to you, and you know it, that it's when something feels heavy, it's an awareness, and you have a choice. You always have a choice.
Right.
You have a choice to walk out.
Hmm.
You have a choice to make choose something different for your life. Yeah.
Yes, right.
And you have a choice to be something else, to be a killing energy. Yeah. Not you have a choice not to be a doormat.
Yes.
Not to be a victim of the situation.
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay. So with that, the clearing statement is there, okay. So the clearing statement is one of the access tools which is meant to take you out of polarity and judgment of this reality. So that is the main purpose of the clearing statement, and the way we call it is it's a kind of a magical wand. Anytime you say this clearing statement, either aloud or even if you say it in your mind, it energetically clears all the blockages that are keeping certain things in place. That solidification, that is of points of views, start dismantling, dissolving with the clearing statement. तो उसका काम ही झाड़ू लगाना है. जो भी हमने जो प्रोग्राम्स क्रिएट करे हैं, जो कि हमने कोई भी ऐसे पॉइंट्स ऑफ व्यूज क्रिएट करे हैं जो कि हमको एक्सपेंसिव ग्रेटर वननेस में नहीं जाने दे रहे हैं, उन सब पॉइंट्स ऑफ व्यूज को हटाने के लिए क्लियरिंग स्टेटमेंट हम यूज कर सकते हैं. Now what this clearing statement is: right and wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all nine, shorts, boys, ovats, and beyonds. You don't have to understand the clearing statement, as we already said, with a logical mind to actually see its magic happening. You can just use it and see that it works. Like, and we'll tell you the ways in where how you use it, so you can just use it. जैसे कि हमको जरूरत नहीं होती है कि अगर मैं मोबाइल फोन यूज कर रही हूँ तो मुझे कि कैसे मोबाइल नेटवर्क काम करता है, कैसे ये मोबाइल फोन बना, उसमें वो चिप्स कैसे बनी है. वी डोंट नीड टू नो ऑल ऑफ दैट. We just use the mobile phone for calling people up, for the smartphones, for using all these the wonderful apps that we have on the smartphones. Similarly, you can just use it. For more details, and if you still want to explore what the clearing statement is, there is this website called theclearingstatement.com. You can visit that website for more insight about each of these phrases in the clearing statement. What does right and wrong stand for? Good and bad, pod and pock क्या है, ऑल नाइन क्या है, ये सब आप जाके देख सकते हो. वहां पे एक वीडियो भी है और पूरा रिटन एक्सप्लेनेशन भी है. द वेबसाइट इज theclearingstatement.com. थैंक यू सीमा. It's in the chat box. Seema just wrote it over there. Yeah. The clearing statement has the capacity to clear whatever is blocking you, limiting you, and keeping you from your true greatness and your natural state. What is your natural state? It is one of possibilities, potency, happiness, and ease. And the clearing statement gets you to those places faster than anything else I know. So it is the greatest invention in personal development, this access clearing statement. If it is your first time seeing those words, it is very likely your mind has gone, what? And that's okay. You don't actually need to cognitively know or understand what these words mean for them to create change in your energy and your life. So right now, I will invite you all to bring to your mind one thing that is actually bothering you. It could be very simple thing, ke khana late ho gaya hai, ya kind of, or something big. Whatever it is, bring it to your mind and just say, right and wrong, good and bad, pod and pop, all nine shorts, boys, povats, and beyonds. And repeat it a few times. Right and wrong, good and bad, pod and pop, all nine shorts, boys, povats, and beyonds. Right and wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all nine shorts, boys, povats, and beyonds. Right and wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all nine shorts, boys, povats, and beyonds. And just feel the energy around you. How are you feeling? Has it shifted? So it clears the blockages and opens up the space for more possibilities. You may be wondering, do I have to use the clearing statement in order to create change? Not necessarily. See it as an accelerator, a tool that can open your world and expand your horizons. Without it, you can still understand that some of your points of views may have been holding you back. But with this tool, you can change them in a beat. So it can create change faster. Do I have to say the words out aloud? The clearing statement works whether you say it out loud or quietly under your breath or silently in your head. It also works if you use the abridged version, POD and POC it, which stands for point of destruction and point of creation. So even if you say just the abbreviated form of the clearing statement, which is POD and POC, still then it works. Sorry, what? Point of creation? Point of destruction? That is us asking the energy to go back to whenever it came from. Sorry, wherever it came from, so we can be free of its limitations and choose something else. Pod and POC are the superheroes of consciousness. They undo wherever you created something that limited you or where you destroyed something that could create more for you. So the brilliance of the clearing statement and the reason I often call it the magic wand is that it works to change anything that is limiting you, and you don't need to spend hours in therapy, and you never have to analyze or scrutinize yourself. The limiting belief that you are undoing might be something you created last week, last year, or in a previous lifetime. Doesn't matter. You can change it now. That is the power the clearing statement has. It allows you to use the malleable chaos of consciousness to create a new reality. And you can do it with any modality that you are doing. So you might be giving a session and you can ask for all the points of views that this person is holding on to, which is not allowing them to change this. Let's destroy and uncreate it all times a godzillion. So so this is the question that you ask. That I now will you please now destroy and uncreate it all times a godzillion. And then you say right and wrong, good and bad, pod and pop, or nine shots, boys, pobats, and peons. A godzillion is a number so big only God knows. It's godzillion. So we know billion, million, zillion. Godzillion is a number which is much, much, much infinite, much beyond that. And only God knows how huge it is. It is sort of like steroids for the clearing statement. You will notice it sometimes appears in the clearing statement. It really ramps its potency up. So everything that does not allow you to receive the clearing statement with total ease, will you please now destroy and create it all times a godzillion? You might silently say yes to allow it to work for you, and then right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pop, all nine shorts, boys, pobats, and peons. So two tools, mainly two tools we learned today, light and heavy. That is something you'll start experimenting with your body. What does light feel like to your body and what does heavy feel like to your body in the next 1 week till we meet on next Friday. And the other tool is start using this clearing statement. Everywhere you are finding something wonky, something weird going on, something that is like going bonkers in your life, just use the clearing statement to create a change over there. It could be just you are waking up with a sadness, you don't just feel like getting out of your bed, or it could be your computer not booting up, your internet going down, your power getting cut off. Just use the clearing statement and see what magic you create over there. So play. The tools are to be used. Any questions? before we call it a day?
No, thank you so much, ma'am. It was such a lovely session. Thank you.
Thank you for joining in. Please feel free to share the recordings of this call for anyone you know it might contribute to, and invite people to this book club for them to create greater in their lives and to acknowledge their own capacities. Thank you and bye-bye. Good night.
All right, ma'am. Thank you
Good
so
night.
much.